What's going on? How is everybody doing? I guess we had a wonderful trading week, and I guess we had a wonderful Easter Friday. Before me, this is your boy Adam, and I'm back with another video. So on today's video, there's going to be our trade break. There's going to be our weekly outlook for the coming week of the 10th up and until the 14th. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the 10th up and until the 14th. That's going to be our outlook for the coming week. We're going to be looking for potential market direction. That's in financial advice. Everything I say or do, it's entirely based off of my own experience and my own opinion. It might happen, it might not happen. The only thing we can manage to do is to just stick to our plans, stay disciplined, stay consistent, and stay positive. So without further ado, let's just hop in. So looking at the NAS, you can tell that the structure of the NAS, we did say that obviously we're looking forward for price to pull back, boom, before we can look forward for continuation to the upside. So I believe that this was the higher low that we were looking for, right? Because we did indicate on our outlook that we're looking for price to have a deeper pullback or an exhaustion phase before you can look to continue bullish, right? So price did have a pullback. You can see the big candle sticks. We probably had like 10 big candle sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 big candlesticks until we had a bullish momentum candle closing above the previous intraday support that we had. You can tell we had some sort of support and some sort of resistance intraday, right? Smaller time frame. When you allocate it to our smaller time frames, right, you can tell that our support, that our resistance. So price broke out of support, right? But that was not an issue because we did indicate we're looking for higher low formation if we can continue to the upside. So with price now breaking out and breaking back in of our support with a bullish engulfing candle, the only thing that I can say for my trade idea is I simply continue bullish above support, right? Because now we are above support, then we simply do what? Continue bullish. We now know that like price did give us a pullback, right? And gave us a continuation push. Now we are above our support. As long as we don't continue below, then there's a possibility we might continue to the upside. But at the same time, I'm still looking for price to break the highs, to continue to the upside, to break this higher high resistance, to continue to the upside, and they're going to be it. I'm not looking for much, even though price does come back for a pullback and give me some sort of double bottom right here, then I'll still look for continuations to the upside. But just to keep everything sweet, short, and simple, price had a pullback or an exhaustion phase, creating that higher low formation with a bullish candle trading above our support, which broke out and broke beginning of our support. Now that we're holding support, as long as price trades above support, then we'll still continue bullish. But our overall signal is once we break the highs, the higher high resistance, then we continue bullish above those highs, right? That's my take on the next. I'm just looking for price to continue bullish with the push, exhaustion, push. So looking at gold. So on gold, I won't say much, but we did say on gold that prices kind of like having some resistance and some support. We're either waiting for what? For a break below or a break above. Unfortunately, we got what? A broke above. Fortunately, price broke above. So with now price trading above the high that we broke, price trading above the high that we broke, right? The only thing I can say in my trade idea is I'm bullish above intraday resistance, I'm bearish below. As long as we trade above, then I would still look for that bullish momentum in bait depletion. But if it happens that like price breaks back in, then you obviously look for retest below, then we look for a deeper reversal to the downside. So my trade idea is that simple. Long as you're trading above that intraday resistance, right, or that high, then I still have a possibility of price continuing to the upside. But if you get it close below, then there's a possibility we continue bearish, just following price, following movement, and following the direction, right? With a candle close above, candle close below, then we take continuations. So that's my take on gold. Long as we are above resistance, then I'll continue bullish. But if we break back in, then I'll reverse and be bearish. So looking at German 30, I don't know why my trading view kind of slow today. It's kind of slow, guys. Please bear with me. So German 30, there's nothing much that I can say. But I did say on my trade idea somewhere right here, we did say that long as price don't trade above, then we still look forward possibilities of price trading below. So now you can tell that we did have this high that once led price to the downside, coming back to the very same high, having some sort of reaction. So now we're looking to finalize everything that are we really gonna break out, or are we really gonna do it? Are we gonna fail to break? Right. So those are my two takes which I have on German 30. I will never complicate this pair. I'll never complicate my trading. I would never look for much and look for less. My trade idea stands as it is. I'm bullish above resistance. I'm bearish it fail to break. If we break out or if we trade above the highs, this high and this high, then we continue above following price. But if we fail to break, giving us bullish depletion and bear momentum, then let's look for reversals to the downside, and they're gonna be it, right? So looking at Dow Jones. So looking at the Dow, you can tell that with the Dow, I simply don't have a trade idea. How price is and how price is moving, I just don't understand it there. But I still say we we once had some sort of support until price broke out, came back for a retest, and continued impulsively to the downside, pulling back again, having some sort of reaction from the very same zone. The only thing that I can leave you guys with is if we continue above, then we bullish. But if we fail to break, then we reverse and we bearish. But I don't have a trade idea on German on USD. Looking at USD CAD. So if we can simply look at USD CAD, we did say that price had some sort of support, right? Price had some sort of support. If you can simply look at it right there, we had some sort of support until price had a break and a retest and continue to the downside. So now, are we having a deeper correction or are we having a deeper pullback before price can continue bearish below our support? So my trade idea is, because we're still below our intraday support, I'm bullish above support, I'm bearish below. If it happens that like price does what breaks back in, let's wait for retest above and look for reversals to the upside. But if it still fails to break, then we reverse to the downside. We continue moving to the downside with a break and retest and continue to the downside. Even in USD CAD, I'm also not looking for much because you have some sort of support. If price trades above, if a bullish candle close above, then we simply continue bullish above our support. But as long as we're failing to trade above and giving us that bear momentum and bullish depletion, then let's look forward for those reversals or continuations to the downside, right? Tesla. So Tesla there's no much for me to say. There's nothing much for me to say. I'm gonna just share the trade idea and let it be as it is. Trade idea is I'm bullish above support, I'm bearish below, because now we straight at our major support. If we don't continue moving, if we don't continue to the downside on support, then let's continue to the upside above support, and there can be 8 people you formula. If we don't continue or move to the downside below support, then let's continue bullish above support. And that's it. Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I just won't say much, but the daily and the weekly are still trading below our major resistance. So with the daily and the weekly trading below our major resistance, the only thing that I can say is I'm bearish below resistance, I'm bullish above. As long as I don't get that bullish momentum, then I'm still looking for that bear depletion, and there won't be 8 people, because I'm not looking for much and I'm also not looking for less. As long as price breaks out, then you continue above. But if price fails to break, then we reverse and move forward for those momentum to the downside, and that won't be it. So I'm bullish above, I'm bearish below. Ethereum. Ethereum, fortunately, we did have a breakout, or we did have a close above of that intraday resistance that we had. So with price having some sort of intraday resistance in this bear channel, which we had some sort of correction. So with price breaking out and printing out a correction, with price breaking out and printing out a bear channel, pushing to the downside, coming back for retest. The only thing that I can say at the moment is I'm bullish above intraday resistance, I'm bearish below. Long as we're still holding this very same resistance, then I'm still looking for the new support and move to the upside. You feel me? Something like this. But if we get price breaking back below, then let's wait for retest below and look for continuations to the downside. But at the same time, there's nothing that I can say. There's nothing much that I can say. Price is trading above the previous or intraday support, the right, that intraday resistance, having some sort of bear channel with a potential breakout. Long as we don't trade below this very same zone, or long as we still trade above, then I look forward for continuations or for the possibility of price continuing to the upside. Litecoin, because I need a love to lit. Litecoin, there's also nothing much that I can say, right? The only thing that I can say is just share my trade idea and just let the rest be history. Trade idea is I'm bullish above resistance, I'm bearish below, because you can tell that we have some sort of resistance, right? Which price did trade above for some time, but unfortunately did what traded below. Now that we're kind of like trading above, below, like in it, the only thing that I can say is if price breaks back below, then I would look for something like this. But if price trades above, then I would look for something like this, and that gonna be it. People, they're gonna be it. Not looking for much, not looking for less, not complicating my trading, and not trying to look for too many confirmations or confluences to add onto why I need to execute. Long as I have two, then I'm cool and I'm well off with the two confirmations. Last but not least, we're having oil. So, oil. We did have fundamentals on oil on Monday. I think that the OPEC won't be having some oil cuts. Yeah, something like that. I'm just not sure, right? So the only thing that I can say now, because price had a gap, boom, an impulsive gap to the upside with a 7.74% to the upside, which is more like how many pips? 56 for 58, 56 pips, just depends. So now, because we below a previous zone, right? We're below a previous zone. I did say bullish above, bearish below, bullish above, bearish below. So now all I can say is on my trade idea, I'm bearish below zone, I'm bullish above, right? If we fail to break, then let's look to be bearish. But if we continue above, then let's look to be bullish. But at the same time, I still see price having to come back to fill this gap, boom, before you can look forward for continuation to the upside. That's just how I've been trading gaps. When price opens up with a gap, we need obviously a gap filling before price can continue to the upside. Supply and demand, supply and demand. Where the fuck are y'all SMC niggas now? Where the fuck are y'all SMC niggas now? So last thing, bullish, bearish below zone, bullish above. If it happens that price breaks out, then we continue bullish. Fail to break, then we look forward for reversals to the downside. You feel me, people? So I repeat now on oil. I repeat this once again on oil. I repeat this once again on oil. Right? Oil had this gap filling, had this gap pushing to the upside, which was led by a few fundamentals. OPEC doing some type of things that they say they're working on, right? So because we're below a previous zone, if it happens that like price still holds this zone, failing to trade above, then let's look forward for those reversals to the downside, anticipation of price having to come back to do what? To close this whole gap, which we open before we can look forward for continuations to the upside. But if we trade above, then obviously we continue bullish with our momentum. So that's my take on oil. That's my take on oil. And this is our outlook, people. This is our outlook and our direction that we'll be looking for the coming week. You feel me, people? So that's your boy, Harlem, people. That's your boy. Not looking for much, not looking for less. Bullish above, bearish below. Continue above, continue below. And that gonna simply be it. That's all I got on this video, people.